everyone, and welcome back to Harriet Creates. In this episode I will be walking you through how I made the kitchen floor. So I wanted a kitchen floor that looked a little bit like this, all like oak beams that were next to each other in rows. And so I started off with drawing an outline of the kitchen floor on some card. So this is some scrap card, I think it was Easter, so there's some Easter eggs. And then getting hold of some of these things. Now these magical things are, I think, referred to as popsicle sticks or craft sticks. You want the ones that look like they've been in lollies, and then you want to cut off the ends. How much of the end is completely up to you. I needed them to be about 2 centimetres to 3 centimetres in on each side, as I was saving the ends for another project. And then afterwards you want to get an actual piece of card, like the one I have here that's cut and whole and an actual size of the room, and you want to just start sticking them on. I used conventional wood glue, but to be fair, you could quite literally use anything. And you just want to stick them in rows. It's a bit of a weird shaped room, as you can see. We've got some cutouts in the corner because there are some beams, and that made the placement, I can't lie, a bit tricky. But we got there in the end. Slowly working our way across all of it, making sure that they're touching and forming nice neat rows. They're not kind of stuck all chaos-like. Now you will notice that we get a little bit crazy towards the end, and that is because we did not cut them to length first. So I decided halfway through that I would stop and trim so that at least one half was neater than the other. However, that was a great plan. However, it didn't go according to plan, as it then got tougher to try and cut them. So instead I ended up turning it over and trying to trim down the sides. It took a little bit of trimming and filing, as card on its own is very pliable. You're able to fully bend it, whereas this bit I have since discovered was not. And so I needed to sand it down so that it would fit the room perfectly without bowing or creasing in any way. The next task was trying to find the right stain. So these planks are already coated to make sure that they are like food effective and not going to go weird. So after sanding them to get some of the wood off, I then had to choose a stain. Now I just got some usual ones off Amazon, but you could use any. And I did a dip test, so I got a couple of popsicle sticks and I dipped them in all of them, just so that I would be able to see what kind of colours we were working with. And then after that, I do believe I just chose the natural oak, which I think is in the middle of the bottom of that selection just there, or the middle of the right hand side. Depending on what vibe you're going for, depends on which one you would want. But for us, natural oak is what it was. So making sure that it truly fit in, because I didn't want to ruin the finish, I then did a hell of a lot of sanding and then applied the varnish. So we did, I think, about 2 or 3 coats of the wood stain, and then I came in with this lovely little wood varnish over the top, so that it would glisten like a varnished floor. I think we did 2 coats of that. Yeah, 2 coats of the varnish, letting it dry in between. Make sure that you get that lovely finish. Once it was all done, I popped it in the house once again just to make sure that it was finished, and then took it out to make sure that it was packed away safely. So at the moment it is currently lying between 2 boards to keep it flat. Up until the point when I want to stick it in. And that was how we created the kitchen floor. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye!